Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Corey. I'm doing a quick review of the Leupold Mark IV CQT. Basically, I'm going to talk about the specs, the functionality, some of the pros and cons, and try and answer any questions that you may have if you're considering purchasing this particular item. For starters, I've got it mounted on my AR 556 Diamondback. It's 1 to 3 power, 14 millimeter scope. 14 millimeter lens. It's got an illuminated reticle with 10 different brightness settings. It's got Picatinny rails for mounting any kind of accessories. You know, you can mount your accessories onto the gun, or also some lights and stuff directly onto the scope. It's got flip up lens protectors. You know, if you're not crazy about those, by all means, you don't have to put them on there. I just think it's a cool added feature to, keep the lenses from getting scratched, stuff like that, and also keep them clean. Whenever you go to sight this thing in, it's got half-inch MOA adjustments for sighting it in. Now, I've got mine sighted in at 100 yards, and typically for a tactical scope, you want to have it sighted in 25 yards or less. It just all kind of depends on what you're using it for. And I'll get into that in the functionality of it here in just a little bit. The reticle is a 3 MOA dot when it's on 3 times magnification, and on 1 power, it is a 9 MOA dot. The circle around the dot is at 25 yards on 3 times magnification is going to be 18 inches from edge to edge, and then out at 100 yards is going to be it's going to be 6 feet from edge to edge. The functionality of the scope, this is designed for close quarter tactical, CQT. And what that means is basically it allows you to get on target. It's got great eye relief. It allows you to get on target quick, pick up your target. For me, I've noticed you can keep both eyes open. You can see what's going on through your scope, have your reticle on target, and you can also kind of, see other things that's going on with both eyes open, not necessarily staying focused right on the target. And then also, if you are, maybe for some of you 3-gun competition guys, if you're looking for something that close shots, and then you got to reach out and get something, that 3 times magnification, this could be a great option for that. It's not something that I would recommend if you're looking to consistently be shooting at long ranges, and you're trying to drive tacks at 200, 500 yards, whatever. This isn't the scope for that. With that being said, it can be effective. I've shot coyotes at anywhere from 50 to 150 yards, and I'm able to put a 1-inch group, 3-shot 1-inch group at 100 yards off a bench. It's just one of those things that you've got to practice with. You've got to familiarize yourself with the reticle at those distances, and just, if you're confident in that, it definitely helps. So that kind of gives an idea of the functionality of this. Now, with this 10 different brightness settings, it's very useful in low light conditions. I've had some scopes where you can turn the reticle on and it's so bright, there's no adjustment. It's so bright that you can see into the scope, but you can't see past the reticle. With this, you can turn it on to where it's barely illuminated, and that's really great for, in my opinion, if it's almost dark and you just need a little bit extra illumination on that reticle. It's really effective for that. If it's, the sun's just going down, there's still quite a bit of light, but you want to brighten up that reticle, I like to turn it up to the brightest setting. That really helps out. With that being said, a list of the pros, everything I talked about, in my opinion, I feel like is a pro. You've got quick target acquisition, eliminated reticle. It's very forgiving. It's got a good eye relief. It's easy to stay on target with this thing. It's very durable, reliable. It's Leupold quality. Now, whenever you think about some of the cons, obviously it's a little bit larger, a little bit more bulky, and adds some weight to the gun that you may not experience with some of the holographic sights or some of the other red dot sights that are going to be much smaller. However, with those sights, I don't feel like you're getting quite as much. If you've got a holographic sight, it doesn't weigh quite as much, but to be able to have the magnification, you're still going to have to throw on a magnification glass. So it kind of all balances out on what you want to do with it. And then another con, besides the actual physical features of the scope, that you got to take into consideration is going to be the price on this product. It's a little bit more pricey than some of the other red dot scopes out there or tactical scopes. But in my experience, whenever it comes to that, I always prefer to pay a little extra and get what I truly want, as opposed to cheaping out on a product and you know feeling content at first, and then the more I shoot it, the more I'm like, man, I really got a piece of junk. That's not the case with this thing. I've put probably 300 or 400 rounds through it, and the more I shoot it, the more I love it. It's very practical, very tactical, and it's just overall, I highly recommend this scope. One thing I didn't mention is the fact that, with this circle dot reticle, I've seen some red dot scopes where we're at the range and my friends are like, well, it's getting hard to see because the battery's kind of dying on me. Or, if the battery completely dies, you don't have a reticle. That's not the case. The reticle is there, but whenever you turn the brightness on, it just lights it up. It doesn't have to be illuminated for you to see the reticle. So that is one thing that just gives you a little bit more security in the fact that, you don't have to 100% rely on batteries. Great scope, highly recommend it. If you've got any specific questions about this that I didn't really get around to or I didn't cover, feel free to write a question in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for checking out this video. I hope it was very helpful and provided some good information. And feel free to share it with your friends. Thanks, and y'all check out the next video. I'll try and have some more content up pretty quick. Y'all have a good one.